Hey everyone, John here. If you don't already know me, I'm the founder of LeadCapture.io. And for as much as I don't really enjoy shooting videos, these are some of my favorite to shoot because it's an opportunity to just kind of have a laid back walkthrough of all of the cool features that we've dropped into the platform to help you capture more and better leads while building your lead forms, funnels, quizzes more efficiently. So that's what this video is about. I've got some really cool things to show you. But before, I just want to show you how much coffee I've been drinking because we've been working hard. So there's this coffee. I don't like Starbucks. My wife brought it home for me. And then there's this coffee I was drinking here. You can see my son made this mug for me. It's like a rainbow or something. It's pretty cool. It's one of my favorite mugs to drink coffee out of. Then I also was drinking some more coffee. I've got this coffee here. I swear I did not just go and get a bunch of coffee cups. They've just been sitting around my desk. I don't even like coffee that much, but I need some rocket fuel to keep me going through the day sometimes. And then there's also, I was drinking some more. This one, I don't know if you can see it. There's this picture that my son drew. He's the bigger one. He drew himself bigger than me. And then, and another Starbucks that I probably paid way too much for and don't even enjoy. So that's how much coffee I've been drinking. Hopefully I don't collapse at the desk. But that's how hard we've been working to continue to ship features, work on back end to keep things really stable, and also to just help out as tickets are coming through. I like to be as hands-on as possible to make sure you're all successful. So before we dive into all the updates, I have a huge list, by the way. You can see them all here, and I'll show you how to see some of the previous updates as well. Before we dive into that, I want to show you a cool landing page funnel that I developed, starting to do more with running ads for lead capture specifically. So even if you're not doing, in this case, it's like B2B SaaS, even if you're in lead gen, and that's what most of you are currently doing, this could work very well for you. So let's click in here. The way that I like to run ads is I'll come up with a funnel angle or something like that, drive some traffic, see what happens, and if it doesn't take off, I just pause and I continue testing until I find something that works. This is my dumpster angle ad. Don't worry about the messaging, the copy, the ad itself. Look at the landing page structure and how I have this set up, because this is based on what we see working the best in terms of just landing page conversion rates. So I'll click into it and you'll see simple page, but this is the part that I like the most. It's a video ad. And look at the countdown. It's a vertical video. This works extremely well. We've seen this work extremely well in insurance, solar, home services. And this countdown is unique to LeadCapture. We are the only ones that make it really easy to add in this numbered countdown to basically grab attention. So imagine somebody's on Meta, they're scrolling through, they're probably scrolling through to look at cat or dog pictures or family pictures. They see an ad that you're running, it jumps out at them, they click through, and then maybe you want them to watch a video before they hit the survey. So this is where you have this component here to capture their attention with the countdown clock. And then if you click on it, just watch this video.
Your $50 leads might actually cost you $200. Why? Because if most of your form fills are fake phones, dead emails, or bots, you're paying for trash. LeadCapture helps verify leads before they hit your CRM, so your team chases real people, not dumpster leads.
But then there's the CTA part. This is also unique to LeadCapture. This is the type of stuff you can be doing. And I think a lot of these features are sometimes hard to find because there's so many features right now that we're just jamming into LeadCapture. So I'm just using this as an opportunity to show you what you can be running here. And then if you click, it just anchors you down. And then another feature, I'll show you this in a moment, is this sliding ticker. I love this feature. I'm going to be using it more and more. I'll show you that. And then there's a few more things. But just wanted to show you that landing page. Maybe try out a layout like this. It's super easy to get set up. And I actually had the AI do most of the setup for me. So if we come in, you'll see that I just was having this long conversation with the AI, having it do all of the setup, all of the copywriting for me. And that is how I was able to get this whole funnel stood up in about 45 minutes this morning. Now let's get to all of the updates. So in case you missed it, in the last video that I shared, or the last round of updates, we shipped a ton of features from lead scoring and routing to our click fraud identification feature. So if you have a problem with click fraud or suspect you do, turn that on, start collecting some data. You can even block out your form or survey from loading completely if a click fraud or bot is identified. And then we also launched things like version history, undo. So if you're going through and you make a mistake, you accidentally delete a component, you can undo that. My 2-year-old is screaming right now. Hopefully that's not interrupting the video too much. You can always catch up on updates by going to LeadCapture.io and clicking on Founder Updates right here. And you can scroll through and just see some of the things we launched, including a video library, gamification features, and just a bunch of additional updates. So with that all said, let's dive into things and focus on some of the updates that we launched in our most recent sprint. So first, let's go into the builder. We've made a bunch of updates to make it easier for you to build and edit your lead funnels. First here is a per step visibility option. So what this essentially means here, well, first let's just find a funnel. So what I mean by this is, let's say you want a specific headline to show on a specific step. Well, you can click hide on this step, or you can hide it globally. But if you just choose hide on this step, this headline will only show on this step, but it will not show on this step, but it will show on this step. And then maybe you want it to be hidden on this step too. So you can click hide on this step, now it's hidden on that step. So the use case for this is you can have different headlines on your page itself, or different components appear based on the step. And there's all different reasons for why you would want to do this. I won't go into that too much right now, but just keep in mind that this is a feature that you have, and you can do this across headlines, videos, images, any sort of component inside of the builder. Now I'm going to use the undo feature that we launched the other day. And then what else did we launch here? Let's take a look. Builder focus mode. This is actually one of my favorite updates. It's a small update, but it's powerful because sometimes when you're inside of the builder, this was something that I felt I really want to just focus on the page, or you might really want to just focus on the page or the copy. Well, now you can come up here and click on this little button here, and this will push both of those panels, the left panel for design, the right panel for steps, off to the side. And this just allows you to focus more on the page itself and what it would ideally look like as a full page instead of kind of being squished together by those two panels. There's also a shortcut, so you could use the left bracket to just open up the left side, right bracket to open up the right side. They both close either side, and then the slash command to open and close both at the same time. So just something to keep in mind as you're building. If you ever feel like there's just too much clutter, use the builder focus mode to push the panels to the left or to consolidate the panels here. Image cropping. This was a feature that some of you requested. Adding in images just became much easier. Let's just say we want an image here. I'm just going to take a screenshot of an image of this dog. I like this image. This dog is looking pretty happy, jumping through the grass. And then let's go back into LeadCapture. So what we would do here is open up the component section, the page section, look for image. We also have a bunch of new components that I'll show you. Upload your image here, and then you'll see you can crop it. So I'll just like crop it there. And you'll see it's uploading and the cropped image showed up. Then you can resize it from there. Another thing you can do that you couldn't previously do is you can now adjust the font size of the headline and subheadline, because in some cases in your funnel or survey itself, you might want the headline to be smaller than the subheadline. So the way you do this, and this is something you have to control at the step levels to open up your steps. Let's say we want do you currently have life insurance to be smaller than the subheadline. Click on the step, so we'll click on the pencil. Copilot can also do this for you, but I'll just walk you through the steps. Go to style and go to headline size. So maybe you want to make this like 17. Click out, so now you'll see it's smaller. And then maybe this is like 20. And then you can make this bold, and then that's how you adjust. You can even change the color, and then that's how you adjust the headline and the subheadline. In addition to that, AI Copilot has been moved and changed, and I want to show you a little bit here. So now if you're using Copilot, if you remember, it previously was on the right-hand side of the builder, like right down here was this little circle. You clicked on it, and then it would open up yet another panel. And what ended up happening was it kind of squished things down even more and made it harder to see the page. It can still be set up like that, so I'll show you how to adjust Copilot if you want to continue using it, where it's kind of like a right panel like this. But now we adjusted it, and Copilot is always within reach as you're scrolling. It's always in the middle of the funnel here, of the builder here. And you'll see if you're having a conversation, previous messages appear. You can see the threads, and then you could type in something like, I want, here's one, I don't know why you would do this, but write a poem about lead gen. Write a poem about lead gen, and then it's going to just pop it open right here. And I'm kind of curious, is this going to write a poem? So it's taking a crack at it. A lead came in, let's wait for this to get done writing. All right. A lead came in at 3:30, a name, a number, an email maybe. The phone rang once, then twice, then more. Voicemail again, like every time before. The form had no idea, you see, John Q. Public. So I guess this is talking about lead verification, fake leads. That's kind of interesting. So as you can see, pops open here, but let's say that maybe you just want to open it up on the right-hand side, click right here, and now it's back to the right-hand side. So this way, as you're making changes, you can still see them. And then maybe you would want to collapse this section here, and maybe even that section like that. And previously, you weren't even able to collapse the left-hand section, so that's new as well. And then you can make your edits here, or maybe you wanted to go back to being down in the middle. You would just click there, and there, it's back in the middle bottom of the page, and then across the builder as well. You'll see that it is here. And keep in mind, once you exit the builder, it has full context around your lead funnels, your performance. So you can come in here and you could say to Copilot, how many leads did I have last week? Where's my funnel that's getting the worst performance? Where should I improve things? And then it can help you work through those things. And then if you find that maybe you want it off to the side, just click the collapse button and then it goes back here. So you can choose where you want the Copilot to live. You have more control there. Speaking of control, another update that we pushed is the ability to have more control if you have a 2-column approach for your pages. Let me explain what I mean by that. So if we open up a funnel, in this case, let's say that we do not want this to be a single column funnel, like most of the funnels you would probably build in LeadCapture. Maybe you want the survey or form on the right and the headline to the left. So what we would do here is come into, and this is something that we could do from the beginning, but I'll show you the change here. You can come into the page section, go all the way down, go to form left or form right, and now you have the form positioned to the right. And then this is where you would probably just want to adjust some things, because this looks kind of weird. So maybe the headline, you want to go to style and left align that, left align this here, go to style, left align, go to style. I'm actually just going to delete this, and then we wouldn't want this. And then even this, we probably want to left align real quick. And there you go. Now, before we made the update I'm about to show you, you couldn't have a column above that spanned 100% of the page. It had to be set like this. So we added drop zones. Gotta get out of this pencil thing. So we added drop zones. So maybe, let's say you want a headline to appear before this section. You simply add in your headline, and there it is. Or maybe you want a headline and a video. Think back to this example here. Maybe you want it to be a video and a headline before you get into the 2-column approach. Now, if you're running a funnel that's getting mobile traffic, I don't know why you would want to use 2 funnels to begin with, but everybody has their own approach and how they like to do things. So maybe you drop in a video and you go to style and you create like a Reels style video, and then you then have your 2-column approach. So there's more control and flexibility there now. And there's also now drop zones. If you're using 2 columns, there's a drop zone above and below the lead form if you have it like this, where it's on the right-hand side or even the left-hand side. And you can add things above and below as well now. And now let's go to our next round of updates. New components. So a big thing we focused on in this sprint was efficiency, so just making it easier for you to do certain things, but also customization. And I showed you some of those customization options that you now have, having the drop zones above and below and in different places. But we also have some new components because I really wanted to expand the type of components that we have in LeadCapture. So for example, let's just take a look at each of these. If you go to the left-hand side, and if you're in page, you're going to see the list is starting to get longer. We're going to have to add a search bar at some point. But keep in mind, Copilot is context aware. It should have awareness around each of these features. And you can say, hey, Copilot, I want you to add a how it works section to the page. And you can explain it to Copilot, and then Copilot can add that in and help you with all the updates. So most of these we've had, I'm going to come back to sales letter. This is another one of my favorite updates. But let's just start it with stats banner. So if you drop in a stats banner, I believe I just showed you this, but here's the stats banner. That's how it looks. If you want this to span the full page, you just need to click full width on live page. But let's say you want it to look somewhat like this, where it's scrolling. This, all you have to do here is, and you'll see the stats banner here as well. So there it is in that particular example. All you have to do is come into your stats banner, and for mode, it defaults to static. It's just going to show these few things here, but change it to ticker, and now it's going to scroll through whatever you enter in, and you can add in different things. If you hover, it stops. You can customize the color, and you can even choose the speed. So maybe you want it to be a bit faster, and it'll just start scrolling through. So that is the stats banner and the ticker combined. And then just going down the list here, I'll make this real quick. We have benefits card, and keep in mind you can customize all of these. We didn't previously have this before. It was a little harder to do things like this. We have how it works section, and this is the how it works section. You can add multiple cards, customize the icons, even upload your own, and customize all the coloring. So if you want a different color behind this little board here, you could change that. You could change the color of the icon. A lot of flexibility there. And then we have testimonial call out. So let's say you just want towards the bottom of your funnel a testimonial like this. You can add that in, and you can even add in a picture of a person, or you can change the position of the stars. You can change the color of the stars and so on. And then last but not least, maybe towards the bottom of your page below the call out, you have the CTA section. This button you could set to either link to another page or another part of your funnel, or you could have it anchor back up to the very top of the page. Let's see if we have an example here. Yep, so right here you could just have this anchor all the way back up, and then someone could start going through your funnel. So we covered the new components. I'm going to come back to sales letter component. Let me just bold that so I remember. And there's another thing I want to cover before we get to lead delivery and failed delivery alert. So the subpages, we added a new subpage component in here, and it is the ability to generate terms of service, partner page, or privacy policy nested within your funnel. So what I mean by that is, let's say you're building a funnel and you're like, oh, I need a terms of service and a privacy policy, or maybe you're in lead gen and you need a partners page. Let's just take privacy policy as the example. Click privacy policy. We'll just call it privacy policy. And now you'll see that there is a separate privacy policy page. You can click into this, and then you'll see that we obviously wouldn't want this to be 2 columns, so I'll switch it back to single column. It gives you the dummy text, and all you have to do is then drop in your text for your privacy policy. And you could link to this from your main funnel. Now, the nice thing about the way we handle this is it's all nested within this funnel. So if you're creating a funnel with a lot of different pages or steps, you can keep it all combined into one lead funnel. That's why we call these lead funnels, because there's way more to it now than just a form. Instead of just having a random privacy policy like right here in your whole list. So let's go back in, because there's another feature we have. If you're using GoHighLevel, the calendar feature on the thank you step, we made some updates here to match what we do for Calendly. So I have way too many screens open. Let's say your thank you step has a calendar. So we'll go into the thank you step here, and you'll see we have a Calendly feature. There's also a GoHighLevel feature where you can embed a GoHighLevel calendar into it. And I'm just going to put in like a fake link right now so you can see. But let's say you enter in your calendar. Obviously, the calendar won't show up because this is not a GoHighLevel calendar. If we click pre-fill with attendee info, now you can pass in the field values from your survey into the GoHighLevel calendar form. So this way, the lead, once they submit and they hit GoHighLevel, the calendar, they do not have to re-enter their information. So maybe you pass last name in, their contact details, and then they don't have to re-enter it. This will dramatically reduce friction because, like I said, people don't have to re-enter their information in situations when you have a calendar on the thank you step. And we also do that for Calendly. So let's go into the sales letter side. I just saw a sales letter that caught my attention. So we have a video coming out on this in maybe a week or two. And this is another one of my favorite features now. Let's say that you want to warm up prospects who maybe don't know you. And so what you could do is use our new sales letter feature. So maybe you drag this in here. And this gives you the exact formula that you would probably want to use in a direct response sales letter. There's even different templates here. So maybe you want the pain, agitate, solution template. So we would apply that template. And there it is. And then you would just have Copilot write it for you, or you write it yourself if you aren't too sure what to write. You can come in and you can say, what is this? This is insurance. So update the sales letter for an insurance. We'll say home insurance, I guess. Company. I obviously could have done a lot better with that, but you'll see that it's now going to write the full sales letter. And in the video that I have coming out in a couple of weeks, you will actually see me go through the process. And during the video, I'm saying something like, I want you to write a sales letter for this specific company and vertical, write it like Dan Kennedy, and I'm just putting more thought behind it. And you'll see that it just wrote the sales letter. Is your home underinsured? Most homeowners don't find out until it's too late. It's actually not a bad angle for not really thinking about it. So now you can have a full sales letter. You can come in here and change it, make it longer, make it shorter. It gets you to a starting point. And then you basically get the prospect all warmed up. You get them thinking about the problem. And then you show the funnel right below it. So I think that'll be an interesting play and something worth testing. Next up is failed delivery alert. So I actually don't have anything to show because I don't have a situation where I have a failed delivery alert. But let's say your lead doesn't get through to your backend CRM or lead distribution tool. Sometimes that just happens because the system we're sending to may have a hiccup, or for some reason the lead may not post. It's pretty rare, or in some cases maybe something's not configured correctly. Well, now we will fire off an alert directly to you, to both your email and inside of the platform, and you will know if a lead fails to post at the time it's captured. And then when that happens, we have a UI where we're tracking that, and you can go in and you can make whatever fix you need to make and then clear it out. And then if it were to happen again, you would get another alert. This is a really good way to make sure that you can react as soon as a delivery fails, because if one lead doesn't send through, then there's a chance it could happen to more leads, and it creates this cascading effect, and it could impact your bottom line and ROI. So this is a really important feature. Make sure you check it out. If real-time delivery and quick response rates matters once you capture the lead. So that is the failed delivery alert. I think I pretty much covered all of the major changes in our last sprint. There's one more that I want to highlight, and it's the AI Copilot funnel creation process, because we also made some updates there. So now if you go to new funnel, and let's say you want to build a funnel from scratch. Before I even get into this, just a couple of things to note, because someone had reached out and they had mentioned that sometimes they don't want to go through the process of using Copilot to build a funnel each time they want to create a funnel. I have two responses to that. First, keep in mind, once you get a funnel converting and you get something down that you really like, instead of going and rebuilding from scratch, just clone it and use a funnel that's already working. That's what I do. It's super fast. Another thing I'll do is I might clone a funnel and then jump into it and have Copilot right in here start making updates. That's actually what I did with that Facebook ad funnel that I had shown you. I just took one that was kind of working, and then I cloned it and had Copilot inside of the funnel builder start making the updates for me. The other approach you can take is when you click new funnel, we kind of hide this but you can click on Explore Templates, and you'll see that we have some templates here. But some of these templates don't have our nose components in them, so we have to refresh them again. But they're all here. Now, if you just want to start completely from scratch and see what Copilot can do for you, or if you're not even using LeadCapture and you want to create your funnel first before you go and sign up, there's a couple of enhancements here. First, you can describe a little bit about what you're looking to do, what type of leads you're looking to capture. Do not come in here and say, I want you to build a full-blown ClickFunnels style funnel with upsells, downsells, because that's not what LeadCapture is designed to do. Focus on what we are best at, and that's creating landing pages, surveys, and funnels to help you capture leads. So you might just want to explain what you're looking to do, or I'll just choose something here, or you can just skip that question altogether. And the main thing I wanted to highlight here is when you're going through this, let's say you wanted to build a full funnel, like a landing page and your lead form survey combined. When you click here, now you can choose the type of funnel that you're looking to create. So you can choose a single column funnel, and this is probably the one that makes the most sense for you if you're driving in heavy mobile traffic, because it's always going to consolidate down to one column. That's what works the best too on mobile. If you're getting more desktop traffic, or anticipating that you will, create a 2-column funnel where the survey and form are off to the right, and then all your content to the left, and then you can have it expand into a single column. Or if you want to use that sales letter approach that I just showed you, create a sales letter funnel. I'll just create one for Rocket Quote right now, and I'll walk through this just so you can see. I'm not going to add any questions. I'll say homeowners looking to, I don't know, looking for an insurance quote, and we'll just say make the copy professional. I would definitely want to be thinking a little bit more about some of this stuff, and let's generate privacy policy, terms of service, brand color, let's go with red, and then yes, we want TCPA, yes, we want to verify our leads at the point of capture. Here's what it's going to build. Looks good. I'll pause this while it builds. All right, it's redirecting, and just like that, it created a sales letter funnel for us. Let's use focus mode. Here it is. There's the survey at the bottom. And then just some additional stuff. You probably would want to delete some of this because at that point it's overkill. But you'll see, here's the funnel. Find out how much you could see by switching to solar. And the reason why it says solar is because I think I selected solar as some of the context to give it. And then it has this nice sales letter. So there's all different reasons for why you would want to use a sales letter. It's something I'll walk through later. And like I said, I have a video coming out about that. So that is the system generating the sales letter funnel. And one more thing that I've never shown, it's this blueprint feature. So in addition to that, you can also have the AI generate a custom blueprint, and you can add notes directly to your funnel. So if you're absolutely crazy like me and love to track things and add notes to things, especially if you're creating a lot of different campaigns and funnels, you can do that here with the blueprint. The blueprint is kind of like a summary of the funnel that was just created, or the funnel that you're creating. And you'll see here that it touches on your goals. It has all of the different steps, the funnel structure. If you have clients, let's say you have clients, you could share this with your clients or team. You can share this with your team members, and it's designed to kind of keep all people on the same page, summarize the funnel for you. And if you make changes, you can come in and regenerate it. But the thing that I really like about this, and I built this selfishly for me, because like I said, I'm crazy with note taking, you can add a note and you can say, in this funnel, we are going to test a sales letter approach to warm somebody up or something like that. And then you click save note, and then there's your note saved. If you come and make more changes to the funnel, you can come in and update the notes. So that's kind of a hidden feature. We actually launched that quite a while ago, but I completely forgot to mention it in some of the updates. That wraps up this video. Just as a quick housekeeping note for those of you who've been paying attention, I've been mentioning something about a live session, either bi-weekly or monthly. I'm kind of leaning towards calling it LeadCapture Fridays. I was planning to start it this week, but I've just been so busy with things that I don't think I'm going to be able to start that up yet, as much as I would love to do that. And then I have a vacation coming up. My son's just getting done kindergarten, so I want to spend some time with him towards the end of the week. So what I plan to do is I'm going to continue trying to shoot a video each week to just share some tips, some insights. And then eventually, as we get more into the summer and maybe the fall, I'm going to start doing live sessions called LeadCapture Fridays. And they are just going to be laid back sessions. I'm a pretty laid back person. If I start to make like crazy webinars, it's just going to flop and be really weird. So it's just going to be like a live session where you can jump on with me. We can talk through things. I'll do some trainings, stuff like that. So stay tuned for that because that will be coming before we know it. And then finally, there is another sprint that is starting up on Monday. And in a couple of weeks, maybe 2-3 weeks, I'll have another update for you. So keep your eyes on your inbox and inside the app for that update because that will be coming out eventually. And we have some cool things planned for that update as well. So stay tuned. More to come. Thanks.